Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. What can I say? The ever-revolving doors, shenanigans, buffoonery of these people, it just will not stop. I've never seen anything so atrocious here in my area. I won't speak of other places. Pertaining to a child missing, and it doesn't seem to stop. And I know that many people have come across people like this who just cannot stop talking, stop doing things. And it leads me to believe that these people never cared for their children, never cared for themselves. And the thing about life is that you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. And these people are hideous to me. And I'm sick of them. And I want to end to this story. I want to end to this story just like I want to end to the story out in California. I want to end to this because every day somebody is uploading bullshit about these people, what they're doing, what they're saying, who they're talking to, and it just doesn't stop. I will be playing you audio from Evil Exists and another network. And I'm going to start off with Evil Exists. I'll be playing probably 4 audio clips from his channel. Thank you. The first one was uploaded an hour ago. Meet the Wells Media Manager. Thank you for joining me.
At Kroger, save.
Oops, sorry about that. Before, it didn't have the commercial playing. Thank you.
Wells have their own media manager now, and he's sure taking his duties seriously. He has already created a Facebook page called Media Manager Wells and is the man behind the FindSummerWells.com website too. I'm talking about none other than Tim Mullins. I'm sure that name rings a bell to some of you. I don't know too much about Tim Mullins, but I had a chat with him today. He said that he is in contact with Dawn and Candace and is their media manager. Tim Mullins said that he is editor of the news site in Kingsport, Tennessee, as well as the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts for that news site. He also runs a historical site on Facebook, which has about 89 followers. Tim further explained to me that the Wells family is completely unknowledgeable about the news and entertainment industries, so this is the assistance he has given them. The description he gives as media manager on the Facebook page reads, as media manager of the Wells family, it is understood that many people may have questions that I can answer concerning how the media and entertainment industries are handled for the Wells family. You may ask here, and I will do my best to answer.
Okay, thank you so very much. That's video number 1. I will now take you to video number 2. Candace Wells text friend about Don. This is uploaded 2 hours ago. Evil Exists is the content creator. Thank you for joining me to Everyday Shenanigans.
What has always been on my mind. I believe that he was at work at some point during that day, but I've never been convinced that he was there the entire time. There have been one too many slip-ups, but I definitely think the truth is slowly coming out. According to H, TBI told him that Don was not at work that day. At this point, we cannot be sure of that, since TBI does not just dish out information that may hinder the case. Today I want to talk about some text messages from Candace to her friend. These messages surfaced a while back, but thinking of everything in totality.
Let me read you the text messages, if I can pull them up the best I can to see. This is Candy speaking to someone via Messenger. But Donnie not a bad person either. I've been with him 14 years. It's okay. Nobody mad at you. Then the person responds, I'm sorry. I've seen your pain. Hold on a minute. My light's going out. Plus the pain he puts you through when he does his lives. It's like all you. Then he has people thinking you are a monster. Candy replies, it's okay. Did you tell someone that Donnie was home at 3 o'clock the day Summer went missing? The person replies, no, not 3. Then Candy replies, what time did you say? So I'm going to play the audio so I can pull up the next line.
I think they are extremely important. Candace seems concerned about whether her friend, or now ex-friend, I am not sure, told anyone that Don was at home at 3 o'clock on the day when Summer went missing. If this information is correct, and...
Now I'm going to finish reading the thread. So the person said, no, not 3. Then Candy replies, what time did you say? The person replies, 3:30 or 4, but you didn't see him. I told you, no, she said, I didn't, wait a minute. I told that didn't come from you. Candy replies, okay. The person replies, I'm sorry, I was taking up for you. He's got people thinking you're this monster and you're not. Candy replies, I know, hun. Then the person replies, please don't be mad. I love you so much.
Don is in fact lying about being at work until later that evening. Then we must ask ourselves why that is. Is he trying to distance himself from what really happened? Will Don eventually throw Candace under the bus? I think it is just a matter of time at this point.
Our house is up there on top. All this is our property. So which I turn straight.
Here is Don inside of the car talking to someone to show them the route that he took on his way home. When you listen carefully to the audio, he is saying, we turn, then he corrects himself to say, I turn. Donald, who are you speaking of? Donald Wells. Were you and Candy Bly Wells inside of the car returning home after dumping Summer Wells? Who is we, sir? Who are you speaking of? This is very disturbing and sick BS that most of us who are woke already knew. Both of these two are complicit to the disappearance of Summer Wells, the back and forth talking in circles and riddles on social media to different goofy ass YouTubers who also are fame whores and want attention. I don't have any respect for you. I don't have any respect for you. Because there comes a point when a person needs to realize you're sitting at the table with the wicked and you're inviting that bullshit into your peripheral. And if you're going willingly into the lion's den, then that means you like it. You're summoning the devil. That's what you're doing. This is not a game. This is about a child missing. It's also about 3 little boys who are now in the state's care. And whether I like these people or not, they still have 3 remaining children. And they also have children by other people somewhere in this universe who don't have sufficient parents to give them love and nurture and care. The voice is of somebody else's channel. Anyway, that's why I don't even like having an open chat, because I don't have time for this. The point being is that it's time for this shit to stop. All this talking and posting and going to different channels. Now they have a media manager. Now people coming out releasing text messages of Candy in their conversation. My thing is, these people are just as crazy and sick, because why are you soliciting these people? Why are you trying to contact these people? Why don't you all just let the law enforcement do their damn job and bring forth the truth pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells? What sick person wants to immerse herself in drama? There's nothing wrong with wanting to report a story. But in the end, we as YouTubers, we are not reporters, okay? You don't have a degree in communications. You don't have a degree in communications. Some of you. Of course, I did major in communications in college, but I didn't obtain a degree. But the point still remains. You have to know your place. And some of you don't know your place. And you are summoning the devil by going into these people's inboxes and reaching out to them and letting them speak on your channel and letting this goofy ass man curse and use different names, derogatory names. And you're sitting there letting this person sit up there and spew the venom. So what does that say about you? That you allow somebody to come onto your alleged platform to do nothing but lie and spin more lies about a child missing. And you know, the one thing you rarely hear, you don't hear anything about those other 3 kids. Always me, I, what they're doing to me. What about that little girl? When are you going to stand up for Summer Wells and cut the bullshit? That's right. Giving them a platform to spread the hate. So you're just as dirty and grimy. You're just as dirty and grimy. Evil Exists is the content creator of this information.
So I turned straight.
That's video number 2. Thank you for joining me. Video number 3, Don Wells, in his own words, Summer Wells. I know where she is. She's in some motel. Thank you for joining me.
It's difficult to listen to. Some say that this is just Don thinking where Summer could be, and he is not actually saying he knows where she is. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Don said in previous interviews that he doesn't even know anything about selling kids, and he acted surprised that people even spoke about that. He said he had no idea how to do such a thing. However, he now says that he has seen those type of things with his own 2 eyes. Very disturbing to say the least. Another interesting point is the accusations that went around regarding Don trying to sell his older 2 children in exchange for drugs. He obviously denied that. He also said that he believes Summer is somewhere out on the street, so why is Don on YouTube and not out there driving around, searching for her? It just doesn't make sense to me. All I know is that this situation has gone on for far too long now. Summer has been missing for 6 months, and authorities are working behind the scenes, but it's taking time. Frustration amongst the public is definitely growing too, as people want to know what happened to Summer. Here is the call that Ziggy played on her channel. The link to the full audio can be found in the description box.
You guys don't know what I've seen it. You guys try to shut me the fuck up.
No, I'm trying to done it because you've been drinking and I don't want to talk.
No, but that's why I'm being truthful with you all.
I mean, it's just, it's a little upset. No, I get why you're angry. Like, I totally get it. And I would be messed up every night until now.
Understand this, my daughter's probably on the fucking streets right now somewhere. Nobody's listening to me.
Donnie, we can't do anything.
I know where she's at. She's in a fucking motel room somewhere with some fucking weirdo fucking motherfucker trying to sell her a little bit of crack cocaine.
All right, thank you very much. That's Evil Exists. If you need verification, feel free to go into the YouTube queue. I'm going to play you something else pertaining to this BS with these people. I'm going to say this before I even get started into my commentary because I've got a long commentary list after I play this last audio. There comes a time, like I said, that some of you people should be tired of dealing with Don and Candy Wells. I understand that when you hear of somebody missing or hurt or murdered, whatsoever, you have this odd sensation to figure out what's going on with the person, the people, the missing, the dead. But there comes a point when you should tread lightly into involving yourselves with people that you do not know anything about. There's nothing wrong with wanting to support someone. Let me make that clear in this live. There's nothing wrong with wanting to support someone. But there comes a point when perhaps you should say to yourself, maybe I should not be involved with these people because I don't know them. You want to support someone with a missing child? Then go out and hand flyers of the missing child. When they have prayer vigils, attend the prayer vigils. When they have a search that will allow the public to attend and assist, then show up. But other than that, inboxing people, stopping by their house, home, putting notes in their mailbox, sending them mail, it's probably not a good idea because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're dealing with. Both of these two are grand manipulators, grand narcissists. They've been conning and swindling their entire life. And although Donnie is older than Candy, they are the same. They are evenly yoked in bullshit. They both have had problems with law enforcement, the law, breaking the law, domestic violence, placing children in state's care or leaving them with anybody. Both are tainted. And yet you people cannot get enough of fucking with these people. What is your problem? That you have to go talk to them. You got to be in their inbox. You want 5 minutes of fame off of a fucking kid. That girl is probably dead. And you're aiding this bullshit like it's a game. It's not a game. The kid is probably dead. And you're sitting up here coaxing this fucker. Well, I know, and I'm so sorry. And sorry about what? Say you sorry to that little girl who's probably not alive. Say you sorry to them 3 little boys who now are living with strangers. Tell them you're sorry. Tell them you are sorry. You're sitting up here with a YouTube channel aiding these people. Don't you get it? They're playing you. They're playing the public, law enforcement, their family, anybody with a pulse that'll listen. It's a game. And when you go into the belly of the beast wanting to talk and support them, something's wrong with you. Because once you see that a person has been deceptive, let me make this clear. Deceptive, then you should not want to be involved with he or she. And it doesn't matter if they have missing children, children removed out of their care, you just met them at the bus stop, co-worker, it is all the same. When you see deception, run like hell. Like minds do attract. And some of you are thirsty and hungry, and yes, to grow a channel. Amen. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you all so much for the support. Now for my last audio. Thank you. This is Jenna, an ex-friend of Candy, who gave her commentary to someone pertaining to what she learned of Candy in the short time she dealt with her for about 2 months or so. Thank you for joining me.
It was 6 months that Summer's been missing.
It was.
When did you, and I'm not expecting you to give a date unless you know, if there was one thing that stuck out. Okay, on July 27th, you start talking to Candace, and you genuinely felt empathy for her.
Yes.
And sympathy. But you were noticing some weird things, like you said, they weren't actively searching. They never mentioned the kids unless you did.
Right.
They didn't go down to the police station. She said if she went down there, she felt like that she would get locked up because she was guilty.
Right.
You said she felt like she was hiding things. She was shy because she was hiding things.
Right.
I don't think there's any question that, they're both active alcoholics and drug addicts.
And you're exactly correct.
Where at along the lines, was there anything that started giving you a red flag of where you started communicating with Candace differently?
Yes. I heard a phone call that Candace made. She was hysterically crying that Don, yes.
Okay. After that, how was it? Was it you calling her or her calling you, or was it still a half and half?
It was still half and half after she done that to Mary.
Okay, so nothing really changed as far as those dynamics.
No.
You're talking more along a natural thing, or was it an intentional thing?
It was.
Okay, you know what I'm saying. Okay.
Yes, it was pretty much an intentional thing. I was trying to pull myself away. Me and my husband talked, and he said, Jenna, it's time to pull away now. So I started pulling myself away a little bit, and I still had feelings. I still cared for her, but I wished her nothing but the best. I just wish she could see what she was doing, and she was having more people come around her at the time, and I really didn't like. I didn't know the people she had around her, but when she had the people come around, I mean, it was like a party fest. They would all get drunk and cook out, and I just didn't want to see that.
Right. Now, let's talk about the drug use for a little bit.
Okay.
We know marijuana.
Yes. Also, crack and meth.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Okay.
Candace did mention to me that she put it all on Don. That when he come back from his little...
Let's stay on the drugs for a little bit. So we've got marijuana.
Yes.
We've got meth. We've got crack.
Yes.
How about Suboxone?
I didn't never really see Suboxone.
How about pain pills, Lortabs, Percocets, oxycodone?
I never seen those.
Okay, how about Xanaxes, Valiums, Klonopins?
Xanaxes, yes, but the rest of them, no.
Okay. Now, do you know if, of course we know that alcohol is legal.
Yes.
In the state of Tennessee, marijuana is not legal.
Right.
It's not legal. Amphetamine is not legal.
Right.
The Xanax, were those bought off the street or were those prescription?
Those were brought off the street. They were not prescribed.
Okay, so we've got a pretty extensive how could I say, list of extracurricular illegal activities that they indulged in.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever get the impression that Don was dealing those, or was he just, or were they just users?
I never got the intention that Don was dealing. I've always thought that they were using. But Candace did make a comment to me that he had a lot of money.
Right.
But other than that, I've never got like an insinuation that he was dealing.
Well, I know where he works and I know how much he gets paid.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be really, really surprised, but I know Post-it Note, which is one of my local friends here, will probably do an interview that you'll definitely want to check out and let Post-it Note in her own words, when I do an interview with her, her relationship with the Summer Wells situation.
I know.
And how she's involved, and it's, part of it from our conversations the other night.
Yes.
I'm throwing out teasers out to the audience right here. Hey, there's going to be another interview.
That's good. I would love to watch it.
But, okay, so we got the drug use, we got Don going out of state or, out of town at least, to get it and stuff like that.
Right.
But you never got the sense that he was an actual dealer. So did you ever get the impression, I'm leading up to something here. Did you ever get the impression that he was in trouble financially with a drug dealer?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yes. And that was from Candace.
Okay. I really, really want you to expand on that.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. The reason is summer's gone, yet there's no sign of abduction or foul play.
Right.
Is it a possibility that he got in too deep with the drug dealer financially And that was their way of making him pay.
It makes my stomach turn.
Well, like I told you the other night, on this channel, sometimes we talk about the things that other people don't want to talk about, but need to be talked about.
Exactly.
Because that is a real, true thing that happens in the United States of America.
You're exactly right. It's a sad situation, but you're exactly right.
So expand on, based on your conversations with Candace,
Okay.
what makes you think that he was in trouble financially with the drug dealer? Which is not uncommon for a drug user, that happens. But what makes you think that?
Well, this happened when me and Candace was video chatting, and this is when she said at the time that she thought Dawn had something to do with it. So I said, okay, well, let's think. We're going to think about this. And I said, does Dawn owe any money to anyone? She said, well, he borrowed some money from somebody. She wouldn't let me know exactly who he borrowed it from. And said that he has money. He has plenty of money. And then she said that she started looking on her maps on how far, like, borders are from Tennessee. Like, and she made the comment that she doesn't know what her husband's into. She said she wants to believe everything he's saying, but as of right now, she doesn't know what to believe.
Okay, when was this when she was saying that?
It was before the Mary phone call. That's when we was talking on a regular basis. So I was saying maybe in August.
Okay. Did she ever bring that up again?
She never did. The next day, it was a total different person.
So do you think that could have just been, a possibility that maybe was running through her mind? Because maybe she honestly was questioning Dawn?
Yes, it could have been a possibility that was running through her mind. And she just needed to let it out there.
Okay, well. So after your conversations got less frequent, how long after that, they got less frequent after the Mary incident?
Yes, correct.
How long up to that, or was there anything odd that you felt like happened between then and the time that they started getting ready to go on the behavior panel or the Dr. Phil show?
Yes. I noticed Candace would cry about Dawn speaking with another female. That's the only time I even saw her, like, shed a tear. I thought that was odd. You shed a tear because you think your husband is talking to another female, but I have not seen you shed one tear about your children. Then also, they had a visitation with the boys, and they complained about how far they had to drive to go visit.
Okay, if you know the location of the boys, don't say it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Yeah, don't do that.
No, I cannot do that. That's something I cannot do. But she was very upset. Her and Don was both complaining they would not make that trip anymore, which really caught my eye. These are your babies you love and you miss them supposed to so much. And
they don't want to make that drive to see their 3 children.
right.
So there's more alarm bells going off for you. You got the Mary incident, and now you got this, them not wanting to go see their kids.
Right.
And Candace crying when Dawn would talk to a female.
Yes.
Now, Dawn talked to a lot of females.
Yes. She was very jealous of Dawn.
Was there one particular female that made her cry, or?
Yes, there was.
Okay. So we're not going to put her name out there.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Because that'll just create more drama, and
Right.
people will start going hard on her, and
Yeah.
we don't know her, we don't know her story, we don't know the situation. How did Candace feel with Dawn going on all these YouTube channels?
She didn't like it. She was saying that he's going to tell everything. She would make comments about calling the police. You're going to go to jail. And then he would make the comment back to her, you're going to jail too. So it was like they were hiding something from within themselves. Like, it's a really odd relationship. And they have a lot of secrets. And she was very scared that he was going to be too trustworthy to one person and tell everything.
Is this the one person that she would get the tear in the eye over?
Yes.
Okay. So by that, Candace is saying Dawn's going to jail. Dawn's saying Candace is going to jail. That implies that in some form, we don't know in what capacity, but they're both guilty of something.
Exactly. Those are my implications of that whole situation.
See, those are the things that you were saying that I was listening to and that I was agreeing with you on. And I was like, I want to talk to this girl really bad.
Well, you have firsthand knowledge of that area down there, you know.
Right.
Like we was talking the other night, it's really shocking. But I think they two have something on each other, and Dawn can hold pressure a little bit more than Candace. That's why Candace will not talk.
Right. I think we all kind of get that feeling that that's the reason that he's a better liar, in other words.
Exactly.
She's more likely to slip up than him.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so that sent off another set of red flags for you when they were complaining about going to visit their 3 children.
Yes.
So now we're still leading up to the Dr. Phil show.
Yes.
Is there anything after that red flag about them not wanting to go visit their children and the Dr. Phil show?
After that, I really separated myself a little bit. I had to step back and I had to reevaluate everything.
You and your husband had talked, and
Yes.
it was like, pull back a little, you know.
Yes. And it was like, still didn't want to think she was still didn't want to think she was guilty. I still didn't want to put it in my mind, oh, she's guilty. That she's been truthful to me this whole time. She's not lied to me about nothing. So I just kind of pulled away a little bit. And we just video chatted maybe.
Because Candace was lying to her.
Exactly.
Did she ever talk much about?
She didn't talk much about her boy. Not the boy. She talked about the girl.
Talk theories out there. It's not my particular theory,
Yeah, I know.
We talked about that the other night, but
I know.
we're not here to talk about my theory. We're here to talk about Jenna. Is there anything along the way, looking back? Because now that see, when you're lied to, that makes everything before that questionable as a lie.
Exactly.
So now that you're separated completely away from it, and you have been for a while now.
Yes.
What was the last date you said?
It was October the 8th.
Okay, so for a little over 2 months, you had no contact with them.
Correct.
So now looking back, because I know, just as a human being, all of your interactions with Candace have rolled around in your head time and time and time and time again.
Yes.
And you've analyzed and probably overanalyzed, and that's just what the human mind does to us.
Right.
Are there anything from the end of your all's relationship, looking back on it now, that have led you up to where you believe Candace hurt something?
All the lies that she has told me, all the fake crying that I've seen her do, her bipolar. I'm not giving her like a mental diagnosis.
Sure.
Like all I see is swapping. She did not want anyone to know Grandma was back home. For what reason, I don't know. All that, I didn't picture her as a person that could hurt somebody. And I could be wrong. I pray I am wrong. And if I am wrong, I'll be the first to apologize, like I've always said. But it's like all her switch, her this, like 1 minute you're against Don, the next minute, oh, Don would never hurt them. No, I don't hurt my kids, and come to find out that all this abuse that you've done to your children, I did not know. I knew about her older children, but I'm going to tell you what she told me. Her 2 older children that she had before she had all of her, got with Don. She was their father, or I guess the guy she was with at the time. She told me that he was a meth addict, and so was she. And she said that she left her children with her father, because where she was at was not a safe place for her children. She told me that her father is the one that took her children to state custody. Not her. She did not tell me that state custody, the state took her children. Because she has 2 phones. So when I was FaceTiming her, she showed me a message that she tried to reach out to her. But I didn't know I knew that she had a son, but she never talked about him.
Okay. Do you think that they're going to get caught?
Yes, I do. I think that they are.
Okay.
And I think it's coming soon.
All righty. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Turn this thing off here. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay. Let me get my bearings. Woo! Got a long, long road ahead. Get started here. Thank you all for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. I'm going to recap on everything that was said during that audio. As I said before, starting off with this live, you're entitled to be around anyone you want to be around. You're entitled to support whomever you want to support, whatever they are going through. But there comes a point when you should have some type of discernment about the people that you're fraternizing with. That's just common sense. Nobody's perfect. We all made mistakes. We've all hung around the wrong kind of people, done things we didn't have any business doing, got in cahoots with doing things with people we didn't have any business doing. But the point is to learn from your mistakes. Some people never learn. Some people continue to be misfits. And that's what I'm seeing here. What is the purpose, Miss Lady, of even going around her in the beginning? What drew you to Candy? Let's start with the obvious, because you've given commentary to this guy. So, Miss Jenna, why? Why did you want to be around Candy? For what reason? Did you visit her house, or was this just FaceTiming? Because some people in the chat chapping about it was just FaceTiming. But when you start talking about seeing things such as Xanaxes, pills, this and that, one would probably think you were in her presence. The fact that you knew she was hanging around certain people, I don't think that was all video messaging. You had to have been around to see these people at some point, not just video chatting. I don't believe it's just all video chatting, unless she don't live there. But then she makes a reference to the guy that she's speaking to. Well, you know more about those parts, so maybe it was all video chatting. I don't know. It's all strange. Yes, strange bird. Yes, it's all the same. Let's go here. How long were you Candy's friend? Why did you befriend her? What made you befriend Candy Bly Wells? I'm curious. Did you ever go sit with her, talk with her, spend time with her at her residence? Hell, do you even live in the state of Tennessee? And if you do live here around these parts, did you ever get high with Candy Bly Wells and Don Wells? Since you know what was going on in her house, who was coming in and out, who she was hanging with, because you make reference to that in the said audio. What people need to understand about this commentary is like everything else. These are things that Candy and Don were doing before Summer Wells got missing and before the children were taken out of their custody. Old habits die hard. Why am I going to stop getting high just because my children are gone and one's missing, possibly dead? I got rid of her. I'm going to keep doing what I was doing before. Stay woke. The fact you mentioned that Don has money, he's been going out of town to get the dope. So what are we saying? He don't trust buying dope from people here because they'll talk and tell it, which I already said. Who the hell is going to be giving them dope knowing they talk and get on YouTube live? I wouldn't give them nothing because I wouldn't want to hear my name in a courtroom facing drug charges, selling these people drugs. I'll stay woke. She says he has money. Don has also been on the wire telling people he got money. We'll get to that here in a minute. Well, Don, where you getting your money from? Because if you got money, why the fuck you didn't fix your house? Why the hell your children will run around dirty in pictures and videos? Why you got all that stuff on your property? Why your house cluttered up? Why you don't got no walls? Why you don't have no adequate living space domain? Why didn't your children have decent rooms with doors, sheets, blankets, covers, a working stove? Come on with it, Queen. It's early. But I'm going to bring it to you. All of that. Folks talking about painting her room and this and that. Paint her room for what? They didn't care nothing about them kids. You think somebody getting ready to go paint a cement block For what reason would I go hire somebody to paint? He does paint. So go paint for what reason? Stay woke. You didn't do it when the children were there. You are not going to do it now. See, you all don't listen. You got to listen to what's been told to you. Listen to what's been told to you. They didn't care about the kids when they were visible. Why would I waste my money to go paint a damn room, put some beds in there? If anything, somebody donated that stuff. Here, I'll give you a bed. I'll give your baby a new blanket, comforter set. Oh, I'll get your babies some new bunk beds, some linen. Stay woke. Exactly. Listen with your eyes. Amen. Once again, talking about he's got money, going out of town. Candy's looking up borders. She's playing this lady. She played this lady because Candy is a grand narcissist as well. She's a grand manipulator. And this woman should have read between the lines day one. 2 or so months. Come on now, Jenna. And once again, if they got money, he has money, why were they living in squalor? Miss Jenna says basically she realized she wasn't on the up and up Candy when she made the phone call to Mary. Ding, ding, ding. Really? It took that phone call for you to see she wasn't proper dough. She and Don. Well, you've seen the pictures on YouTube, how they lived. So what did you need? You needed a home tour. You just needed to keep talking to her to see what she's about, what Don is about. And are you the same one that Candy was crying about being betrayed, where she's being recorded talking again to somebody, and Don is telling Candy to forgive this person? Are you that person, Jenna, that Candy feels so betrayed by? I kind of think you might be that person. And what's funny about that audio, Don can call everybody the N-I-G-G-A, nasty names, but in the next breath, he's telling Candy to forgive the woman that betrayed her. Help me understand. Don, had you been smoking dope when you told Candy to forgive whoever the hell you was talking about? So if you could tell Candy to forgive whomever betrayed her, then why don't you take your same advice and keep your dusty ass off of YouTube talking crazy about folks and cussing people out? Keep infiltrating the chat and jumping up, wanting to get on people's panels, calling people FAGS. Well, it takes one to know one. How about that? How about that? Is he selling drugs back there in the holler? And if we're going to go to that video that's been released about him being followed by FBI, I'm going to throw that in there too, then they also been watching you from day one. And oh my, what FBI TBI has on you and you and Miss Candy and Grandis too. And then that was also mentioned in this audio. Candy didn't want nobody to know that Grandis was back. Why? Why not? Because we already talking about you and Don on YouTube. So you don't want nobody talking about your trifling ass mama. Because she trifling too for leaving you. Knowing you lost your child and your other children were taken. You all are something else on that hill. Once again, if she does live out of town, Jenna, has she ever come to Tennessee? How about that? And is Don selling drugs? And she's let it be known he does have money. And he's also told the public now he has money and he bought some stuff and just gave it away. Well, what you should have done is went to Home Depot and bought some supplies to fix your damn house. How about that? Or you should have went to Rooms to Go up here in Knoxville. We've got beautiful furniture up here, if you didn't know. And you could have went and bought you some gorgeous furniture for $2,000 or less. You can go in the back room, or you can find you a 2-piece on sale for $600 plus tax. Did you hear that, Donna and Candy? Since you like spending money and giving stuff away to prove a point, just tell the truth. That's that Cash App, Venmo money these stupid folks been sending you. Queen ain't dumb. How about that? How about that? I do believe TBI and FBI are watching them. And what have they learned? And what has come back? Candy, were you putting on with her to make her think you thought Don did something to the child or did something? So when you keep acting like, well, you don't trust him, you don't believe in him, what were you alluding to? That he did something to Summer or other felonious activity or all of the above? Or were you just acting? Because you see, this is what a person needs to understand, which this guy says in the audio. Once you realize a person has lied, which he's probably referring to that Mary phone call, why in the world would you ever believe anything after that call and before that call? Which means if she will lie to Mary that the feds that came and got Don, she'll also lie about where the hell her child is. Stay woke. You see, I'm questioning you, Jenna, why the hell you wanted to be in her peripheral? Why did you reach out to Candy? Was it to get 5 minutes of fame? Was it to get people talking about you, to give you money and funds? Or were you trying to get the reward money? Or you just a lonely creature seeking out another lonely creature? I'm curious. While I'm listening to Jenna, I start to think about Robin. Because in my mind, I'm saying, well, if this woman is seeing things, hearing things via video chat, Robin, what were you seeing since you've been going up on that hill, messing around with Candy and Donald Wells, taking photographs like y'all the Brady Bunch up there? I really want to know what's your motivation. Because have you seen Candy inebriated since Summer Wells went missing? I'll wait. Yeah, all right. Everybody's a fame whore coming out of Rogersville, Kingsport, and other locales. Media managers. What do you need a media manager for? For what? Your child is missing and you're thinking about going into the entertainment business, Don and Candy Wells. So what y'all getting ready to do? Go on a comedy show? I'll wait. So what you gonna start doing? Getting people to charge you for interviews? Well, we know Candy don't like talking in front of people no more. She likes to cry and pull off microphones. So what you want, some money to talk? Okay. Woo! We ain't gonna even talk about the colored rocks I just saw in that other video. I thought perhaps you was gonna be selling them rocks, since Summer liked rocks. There's probably a whole lot of things Summer like that we ain't gonna never know nothing about. Because you all sure the fuck ain't getting ready to tell the truth about that little girl. Why are you people engaging with Candy Bly Wells and Donald Wells? The fact that Don got another video out where he's talking about giving out stuff, driving to Knoxville, spending up money out his bank account to give people stuff, the FBI followed him. Well, let's say that's true. Some agency is following Donald Wells. Well, then that means Donald Wells, they suspect you and Candy. Ting, ting, ting. Bingo card. Why would look, you about to make me say Netflix. Come on, y'all. Why would the FBI be following you, Donald? All the way out of the jurisdiction? Why would TBI, FBI, law enforcement be following you out of Rogersville? Why would they follow you anywhere unless they suspect you in the disappearance of Summer Wells? So I'm going to ask you again, homeboy, did you do something to your child? And let me go ahead and clarify this drug dealing scenario, because some of you are a little light upstairs. Don't no dope dealer want your damn baby. For what? For what? That was mentioned. Do you think he owes a debt? He might owe a debt, but I can tell you what. Why would I want your baby in exchange for my damn money? What am I going to do with your baby? They don't give me my money back. And everybody know in the game of the hustle, You don't let people owe you. Ting, ting, ting. Now, some people who hustle, they do give the dope up and expect to get a return. But I'm not going to chase you for my money. It's called even exchange. Even swap ain't no swindle. And I don't believe in chasing nobody for my damn money. I either gave you something, it's yours. But the dope, I ain't giving it up for free. So when y'all keep talking about selling her to the dope dealer, think about what you're saying. Who wants the child? Why would somebody want the child that's in the dope dealing business? Because I've seen a lot of dope dealers in my time, and I ain't never heard none of them say they want a damn baby in exchange for their damn money. Come on, y'all. Y'all on some other shit out there. Stay woke. Stay woke. Hawkins County must not be running the show if FBI, TBI is following Donald Wells. Are we to believe that's the truth? That Donald was followed all the way to Knoxville on his shopping spree? Who's to say? Because he's a liar too. And another fame whore. And once again, it's the same lady that Don told Candy to forgive. He must have been high on dope or drunk when he told Candy to forgive the lady, if indeed this is Jenna he's speaking of. And why Jenna? Woo, so much, so much. How many more folks gonna come forward talking about the Wells and their private conversations? I'll wait. I'll wait. Clout chasers, like minds, like YouTubers, fame whores, misfits. You all are all alike. You're evenly yoked. You're miserable and you're bitter and you don't have a life, because if you don't have anything better to do with your time than to sit up and engage in conversation with Donald and Candy Wells by telephone, sitting in their house, their car, wherever, you need to check yourself, because you got a whole lot of explaining to do. You need to check yourself. You need help. Yeah, and that's another thing. Friends. They don't have any friends, because everybody they come in contact with ends up disappearing. So let's go there then. Where is the lady who Candy put on the live with her one night? Older looking white lady. Where is she at? She still hanging around, sniffing their panties and drawers up there? Yeah, all right. Because she probably get high too. I don't trust nobody that hang with Donald and Candy Wells. Because if we don't believe these allegations of getting high on drugs, not caring about the children, not wanting to drive to see the children because the children are far off, what does that tell you? That man asked 50,000 questions about which drugs, pills she was taking. Who cares? Who cares? I don't give a damn about a Xanax, a Molly, a Percocet. They're addicts. Use your imagination. Let's go to talk about the children. That's even better. This woman lets it be known that the children live far away. So how far are we talking? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? And why did the state place the children farther out than Rogersville? Because the state knew what they were doing. So now you still want me to believe these people are going to be able to see their children. And if they're not going to see their children, when was the last time they saw their children? A few months ago? So you all need to do the math on that. Ain't nobody calling the kids. Ain't nobody trying to meet with the children. The state going to keep it pushing and find them children a safe, permanent home if they can. Stay woke. Kind of sounding like Cow City all over again. Mommy and daddy disappear into the wind and the state keeps it moving. They don't got time to chase you about your child. You either want your child back or you don't. But I've told you before in my lives, you don't have any proof of anything pertaining to those children and visitation. For all you know, the state had already made a decision to keep the Wells away from their kids. And with all this social media hype and testimonies via lives and recorded conversations, ain't no way in hell a judge gonna let these people get their damn kids back when they are visibly drunk on lives. Candy, why are you questioning somebody about what time Don came home from work on June 15th? Ooh, suck it now. The girl said, no, I said about 4 o'clock, 4 something. Okay, well, whatever time it was, it sure wasn't 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Because allegedly, you made a 911 call at 6:27, 6:26. And that's before talking to Donna Wells. So that means before 6:30, you called Don allegedly and then called 911. So how the hell was Don home at about 4 some o'clock? Because this is what Jenna's saying. And the reason why you asking Jenna what she said is because naturally, allegedly, somebody then came back and said something. And you worried about what you done told Jenna because you slipped up. Because you was on that monkey sauce and realized, oops, I done it again. Ran my mouth. Come on with it, Quay. Yeah. And Don, when you're sitting in that car explaining your route home on June 15th, you slipped up and said, we turned here. So who is we? You talking about you and Candy? Y'all did something to Summer Wells and took and dropped her off somewhere. And you slipped up when you was giving that tour in that car. You said we, and then you said, I. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. I got so many questions up here. I can't even keep up with everything. Woo! Candy's been acting. And Jenna, you should have put that together when you were talking to her. All this bullshit she gave you about not knowing what to believe in, Don, this and that. He's been playing her on YouTube, and she was playing you about Don. They're both complicit to the disappearance of Summer Wells, and by now you should know that. And this guy's asking you, do you think that they did something to the girl? Candy did something? You saying you hope she didn't. My thing is, why do you care? You don't know her. So why do you care if she did hurt a child? You don't know Candy, you don't know Don. And all of what you've seen and heard recently should tell you something about them that they foul as hell. But yet you still want to think and say, well, I hope she didn't hurt Summer. Come again? Okay. Okay. Woo, Lord have mercy, there's a leak in this old building. TBI, do you suspect Don and Candy Wells in the disappearance of Summer Wells? I think you do. You keep mentioning Candy questioning Don. Questioning him about what? Why would Candy be questioning Don's involvement in the disappearance of Summer Wells if she was home with her kids in summer on June 15th after dropping off boy H? I'll wait. How would he kidnap Summer from the house if she was there? Make me understand what the hell you were saying in this audio, because I'm confused. You see, you listening to Candy at that time, you should have been able to read her to realize she's full of shit and she was duping you. She's taking the blame off herself, when indeed she's complicit because she's the one that had the child all damn day long. Do not mention other people in my chat. She played you. She was throwing Don under the bus by making those comments. And then you said she'd turn around and flip it and act like she was on Don's team. Because they are working together, crazy lady. Ain't you done figured that out? Like I said, how would he take Summer from the house if, one, he was supposed to be at work, two, he came home early and she didn't hear him pull up in the driveway? She didn't hear him go downstairs? Okay. She didn't ask, where you going with my child? Where y'all going? Come on with it. You mentioned that she only cries when he talks to a certain woman. And she's never cried about her children. She doesn't speak of her children. She don't talk about her children. She didn't talk about the son she had, the older son. She did reach out to her daughter, older daughter, which we already heard about that scenario. But she never talks about her children. Well, we already knew she didn't talk about her children because Don has been the mouthpiece of this storyline. He knew not to let Candy talk because he knows she would F it up. So that's why he's been the mouthpiece of the story. And she's not going to talk about her kids because she don't give a damn about her kids. She never cared for her kids. So she's not going to talk about them now. The missing Summer Wells or the 3 boys. But who is this woman that you wouldn't mention in this audio tape that Don likes to talk to? One of them old goofy ass YouTubers? Is that who you talking about? One of them YouTubers that Don was talking to? So fascinated with, it's so many we can't keep up. He likes women, professional women, pretty women. Because let him tell it, Summer gravitated toward professional and pretty women. So let's just go ahead and say Don likes pretty and professional women too. Yeah, that part. And Candy is no morning star, ruh, as black folks would say. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, where the hell you been? Sure the hell not with Candy came. Crying because Don's talking about other women. I'm dead. But never talks about her own children. Complains about the drive to see the children. Once again, where are the boys? How far are they from Rogersville? Why did the state place the children far from Rogersville? Was that intentional? To see if the parents would make the effort to see the children? Is it perhaps like I've always said, the state just don't have people readily available to take in children? Stay woke. You also made commentary, Miss Jenna, about them not making the trip anymore. So what we have to say about that? Bingo card. Because they never cared about the kids. So when was the last time Don and Candy went to see their children? You also make mention that Candy's jealous of Don and jealous of a particular woman that he's been talking to. And this guy alludes to the fact that perhaps it's just somebody who's a nice person, not intentionally liking Don in that way. But that's full of shit too. How about that? It was mentioned about creating drama. Why you didn't want to mention a woman's name in this audio. You're creating drama by talking to a YouTuber and your voice has been recorded giving commentary about your last dealings with Don and Candy. You don't think that's not creating drama? Jenna, help me out. I'm confused. Help me understand. You're talking about this woman. You're talking about what you noticed in her house. You're talking about she and her husband using drugs, alcohol, hanging around with people, barbecues, people coming over, hanging around with different people who I'm assuming you're basically saying they weren't good people. Possibly also more alcoholics and drug addicts. But yet, you don't want to mention the name of the woman who Candy was crying over that talked to Don. So I'm going to ask, is he still talking to that same woman? And why would Candy be jealous of that woman when, just like the man said, Don talks to all kind of women? So why are you worrying about that one, Candy? Is it because you do believe there was some type of affection, favoritism by both? They both favored one another, an attraction of the two. You've been telling their business now, but yet you're worried about telling who Don was talking to that made Candy cry. I'm confused. Last time you talked to these people was, what was it, October 8th? Very interesting. Very interesting. And you keep saying that Candy said she didn't know what to believe about Don. Believe what exactly? What is it that Candy was befuddled about pertaining to her husband? You also go on to talk about Candy calling the police on him. She doesn't get her way. She worried that he would tell everything. Tell what, Candy? What is it that Don would tell to some lady or someone? So what I want to know is, how can she threaten to call the police? Excuse me. Excuse me. How can Candy threaten to call the police when she doesn't get away with Don because she's worried about him fraternizing with women, when she didn't have an adequate cell phone on June 15th, and she threw her phone in the back of Don's truck allegedly and used Granda's phone? Bingo card number 125. You see, Candace had a spare phone then, still has spare phones. Stay woke. Orchestrated. How many times I'm going to tell you? Threatening to put him in jail. For what? But yet you're the same one that couldn't call 911 from your phone on June 15th, but yet you can threaten to call the police after the fact. So how is it now your cell phone works? Oh, I forgot. You went and bought an AT&T phone since it gets better coverage up on the mount. Okay. Whatever you say, Candy. Grandis is back, obviously. And she wanted to keep that a secret. Why? Were you worried that we would pick on Grandis, Candace? The issue of Don going to jail. And then you said, well, the guy said that Don said, well, Candy will go to jail too. They have a lot of secrets. Candy felt like he's too trustworthy and would tell everything. Once again, tell what exactly? And who is this person that Candy was crying over? I'm curious. She believes, Miss Jenna, that they're both guilty of something. I say they're guilty of harming Summer Wells, discarding Summer Wells, drug usage, drug selling, and God knows what else they've been doing before and after Summer Wells and the boys. She also, you also hear the guy in this video say that Don's a better liar. Candy will slip up. Jenna said she needed to step back to reevaluate things. Come again, Jenna. What would you need to step back from? I'm confused at that time. You saw what she did to Mary, and you still were befuddled and still kept talking to her. Because he asked you when was the last time you talked to Candy, and you said October 8th. Well, that was after the Mary incident. So that means you were still fooling with Candy K. You liked her for some reason. Why is that? Were you using Candy, Jenna, to get information, to get the reward or to get you 5 minutes of fame because you knew eventually you were going to talk to somebody and spill the beans, because most people who have dealt with Candy have revealed the private conversations, recordings, and text messages via Messenger. So you all have not been good friends to Miss Candy, because possibly you are cut from the same cloth and you can't be something that you ain't. Shut up, Queen. You didn't want to think that Candy could be guilty. Well, what do you think of Candy now, Jenna? And what do you think of Don Wells? Haven't you figured out that this is a game, Jenna? When she called Mary, you should have known she was a fraud, a manipulator, and would do anything for Don. As this man said, anything before the Mary incident, you should have known better and that it was a lie. Exactly. Bingo card number 126. You should have known better. That if a person would lie and say that her husband was being escorted by the feds, all bets are off about what happened to Summer Wells on June 15th. Checkmate. Jenna, you should have stayed away from Candy day one. But when you learned of the Mary phone call, you definitely should have kept on walking and told Candy about herself. Because you see, this is the very reason why Don and Candy and so many other people get away with the foolishness that they exact out to the public. It's because you keep giving them a free pass to be a donkey's ass. You don't call their bluff. You see, first of all, I wouldn't be in the company of Don and Candy Wells, whether they had a missing child or not. Ting, ting, ting. Number two, I wouldn't have went hanging around them, period. Missing child or not. Ting, ting, ting. What were you looking for? Hell yeah, you public enemy number one. You done told their damn business. Of course you're going to feel some type of way about you. Yes, narcissists and sociopaths and psychopaths, they do have feelings for themselves. Stay woke. What I want to know is, everything you said in this audio with this guy, did you tell the same information to law enforcement? Because if you didn't, I'd like to know why not. Because since you hung around these cats, it's only befitting that you tell law enforcement what you learned about Don and Candy Wells after dealing with them. So I want to know, did you call the FBI and TBI and tell them what you learned about Candy and your conversations, Candy's disposition, and if you do believe that she harmed her child? You realize that Candy was not on the up and up with all her lies, fake crying, not wanting to tell people that grandma came home, switching on Don, back and forth, the abuse with the children. You also mentioned that her father took her children to the state, her older children. You also mentioned in that same conversation of her having 2 cell phones. She never spoke of her oldest son, but she did reach out to her girl child. And you also told this man that you do believe they will be caught. You see, this is the very reason these two continue to keep getting away with shit. It's because nobody calls their bluff. And then they go on to the next victim. How gullible can you be that you cannot see through the bullshit with Don and Candy Wells? Lonely creatures equal more lonely creatures. And if you ain't living right, I don't want to be in your peripheral. And that's what the hell you should have thought about before you got involved with these people. Because one, you did not know Candy, you did not know Donald Wells, and you did not know if indeed they had something to do with the disappearance of their child. And the fact that they've let you know they don't even want to drive to see the damn children But like somebody said, you can go ride up the highway, take some money out your bank account, Don Wells, and buy up a bunch of stuff and give it to some damn body else. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Your house is in disarray. Your property is in disarray. It's been months since your children have been gone and one missing, and you just now talking about cleaning up the basement. The basement should have been clean the day Summer Wells went missing. 6 weeks later, they take your children. Your basement should have been clean. Your house should have been clean because you want to get your children back. Now we get information. You complaining about the drive to see the boys. So therefore, you telling the world you don't care about your kids. But see, I already knew you didn't care about your kids because I looked at how you carried yourself in the pictures and videos of your children. Your children walking around dirty and nasty fingernails, broke off teeth, rotten teeth, little girl in dirty clothes, head buzzed down like a boy. I don't need no other information about who you are and what you are. Did you care about your kids? Because you don't care about yourself. You the same heifer walking around, won't even wear a brassiere with them big boom booms you've been carrying around. You won't even buy a bra. So why I think you care about your kids? Too many photographs of Summer looking dirty. So your children look dirty. Your house is dirty. Your property is dirty and dysfunctional and hoarded up. Your house is hoarded up. And I'm supposed to think you would want your children back. The woman lets us know you've been hanging with all kind of people, entertaining people, getting drunk, high, and 9 times out of 10, they also get drunk and high. Like minds. So who the hell getting ready to let your children come back to you? And if Summer was found alive, she was not going back to 110 Ben Hill Road. For what reason? The state would have her too. God had a reason for the season. Cruel as it is, it wasn't Summer's plight to live long. And by the grace of God, 3 itty bitty spiders are no longer in the care of the Wells. This is all I'm going to say about the information that I just brought to you. When are you people going to stop engaging with Don and Candy Wells? When are you going to stop uploading content to YouTube about what they said to you in a private conversation? When are you going to say, I will not sit at the table with the wicked. I will not get my feet and my hands dirty by fooling with the wicked. When are you going to say you value yourself more than to sit at the table with the wicked for 5 minutes of fame, cash app, views on your channel, and get a little ting, ting, ting check in the mail and your bank account from YouTube? Stay woke. Stay woke. You see, what did I tell you all about out there in that hollow? That if these two keep on, something real nasty gonna crawl up out that ground out there and pay these two a nice little visit. And 9 times out of 10, it'll be when they going live. Did you hear that? Don, did you hear that? No, I didn't hear nothing. Whoop, there it is. The end of Don and Candy Wells. Next YouTube story. Keep on playing out there if you want to. You're going to get just what you're looking for. Just what you're looking for. Seek and ye shall find. It is time to put an end to all this foolishness. These lives, recorded conversations, uploaded messages. When are you people going to realize these people are sick? And you engaging with them shows that something wrong with you. That you are mentally inept as well. And you are morally bankrupt. And that is definitely worse than having no money in your bank account or your pocketbook when you are morally bankrupt and you care for nobody but yourself. So when you go seeking out Don and Candy Wells and want to hear them talk on your channel and repeat every damn thing they said and did, you are no better than them, and you are cut from the same damn cloth. You are thirsty. You are fame whore. You are clout chaser. You are 1%er. And you're just as evil and diabolical. And I say it to your damn face. With the camera on, I don't have a problem with it. Because this is outrageous that this story has left Summer Wells and become the Don and Candy shit show and all their goofy ass associates. Know when to fold. Know when to fold. Because this is a sick story about a missing child and 3 boys going into the state's care. And you all are help feeding the rhetoric, talking to these 2 goofy ass parents and recording everything and uploading it to YouTube. What are you showing me? Or what do you think you're showing everybody? You showing me that you got a damn problem. We already know Don and Candy is sick. That's a given. But you also showing that you got a fucking mental problem. And you like trouble and you like drama. And when the camera is off your computer and your cell phone, your ass is wrapped up in drama at your address. Oh yeah, you that person. You that person that stay in stuff and got stuff going on and probably got legal wranglings with the law. Folks chasing you, sending shit to your house, wanting you to show up to court because you like drama. Because anybody looking for Candy and Don, you already telling the world that you like drama and you like trauma. And you probably a basehead too. Evenly yoked in mischief, foolishness, and mayhem. Where is Summer Wells? Where is Summer Wells? The focus that these parents have put on YouTube and social media should have been on their children. You other people jumping off the bandwagon in little clown cars, you've lost your way as well. And your focus is not on Summer Wells or her brothers. And you don't care about Summer and you don't care about her brothers because you don't care about yourself. Because you care anything about yourself, you wouldn't even be engaging with Don and Candy Wells. Period. Period. Where is Summer? When I get an update pertaining to the remains found in Knox County off of Andrew Johnson Highway, I will bring you the said information. I do check just to see if there are any updates. But naturally, you know they're going to have to do all their DNA testing and testing what bones they found. And in the end, whether it's Summer Wells or somebody else, it's still a human being. Same as with the remains found out near Cal City. They belong to somebody, whether they are the brothers or not. And that's the sick part of the story, is that the remains belong to somebody. Prayers for Summer Wells and her brothers. Prayers for peace of mind for the children. Prayers for the brothers out in Cal City and any other missing child. And prayers for those who actually care about the children and want to do right by the children and help the children. Because these brothers are going to need a lot of emotional support. Because whether we like Don or Candy Wells or not, they are still their parents and they are all that they know. And I'm hoping that one day they will learn to do without Candy and Don Wells. And they will just be put on the back burner. You want to donate to the channel? $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. I thank you all so much for the support. New subscribers, those sharing my content. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I thank you all for visiting and listening to the spoken word. I bring you what I have learned in life, which is experience. And I've met all kinds of people in my lifetime. And by no means am I a perfect person. But I know evil when I see it. And I can smell it. And these two are diabolical. And there's no way in hell I would sit at the table with them. Not now, not never. These two are only fit for God to work out, not man. Man can't do anything with Don and Candy Wells. And anybody affiliated with them needs to have their head checked. And they need spiritual guidance as well. And I'm going to say this to Robin Lane directly. I don't know what you're up to and your motivation behind dealing with Candy. But with all that's been said and done by these two on social media, I'd have to question your motives for taking pictures with this woman and other outsiders, and why you are still hanging around Candy. Because there comes a point when a person needs to realize that something is off with she and her husband, the grandmother, and the storyline of June 15th and the disappearance of Summer Wells. And at some point, Robin Lane, you did see the signs that something was wrong with Summer Wells. She was not kept up to par. And what I have to ask myself is, did you ever say anything to Candy or Don Wells about Summer Wells' appearance and her behavior? Thank you, Kinsley. Did you ever say anything, Robin? Because one minute you were visible, then we didn't hear anything from you. Now you're taking photographs with these people. So I'm asking you, what is your stake in the game? And why are you supporting Candy? Because there's no way you can be oblivious to the behavior of she and her husband as of late. Christian or non-Christian, you do have a mind, a brain. So what I'd like to know is why the fuck you're not using it? And why are you dealing with these evil people? Because they are sick and vile. And there's no way I, as a Christian woman, would be hanging in the vicinity of these type of people. You can love somebody from afar and throw your hand up when you see them in the street and keep it moving. And that's the Christian side talking. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Justice for Summer Wells. It's on its way. Thank you.